This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Keller's Garden Center and Landscaping Services, located on 7 Kern Street in Exeter, Pennsylvania, just down the street from Blue Ribbon Dairy. Open through the winter, offering gift cards, poinsettia centerpieces, tropical holiday sleighs, pictures with Santa, and more. And if you're looking for snow removal services, they can take care of that too. Do not break your back this winter. Contact Keller's today and visit their social media pages for more info and hours of operation. My guests today make up the band Frame42, an original rock band from Michigan. None of the members can even legally have a beer, yet they've already been able to work with Grammy award-winning producer Toby Wright on their first EP, who has worked with Alice in Chains, Kiss, Korn, Heart, and more. We talk about what it's like being in a band at such a young age, working with big producers, recording their first EP, Undercroft, which is streaming everywhere right now, what it was like going on tour with Joyous Wolf, and so much more. I don't even care if you don't listen to this podcast as long as you check out their music. I think they have a very bright future ahead of them. Welcome to the show, Frame42 from Michigan. And we're live again with the band Frame42 from Michigan. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having us.
And we had a little bit of, we recorded this about 3 or 4 weeks ago. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. So I felt it wouldn't be appropriate to air that episode like that because it wouldn't represent you guys the correct way. And I really didn't want to do that because I really enjoy you guys. I really, I think you have a bright future. So, yeah, we'll try and capture that magic again.
Absolutely.
But again, this is the band Frame42 from Michigan. And it's funny too, because like usually the people I talk to, the bands I talk to are, in and around northeastern Pennsylvania from where I am. So it's always nice to talk to bands who are out there, different states, doing different things, seeing different things. So again, thank you for your time. I appreciate you doing this again too. Yeah. So, Frame42, you guys, I think you guys reached out to a radio station that I used to work at called Rock 107. I guess your team reached out. I'm not sure how you even got on their radar, but your team reached out to them. They obviously play, classic rock. They don't play local music. They don't play unsigned artists, I guess you could say. Right. But Neil Trauma, who is the midday guy there, was kind enough to point you in my direction. And it was funny too because your team reached out to me and said, "Hey, we've got this young group," and they told me the age of most of you, if not all of you, and I was like, "Okay, great. There's gonna be these young kids, and I'm sure their parents and all that stuff. They're all proud of them, and they think they're the best thing." Going, and they're going to sign a record deal and all that. And I'll give it a shot, but I was not expecting what I got because the sound you guys have, I'm shocked that it comes from such a young crew. Talk a little bit about Frame42, and if you guys want to go around the room and talk about your roles in the band and how old you are, because again, I can't get over how young you guys are, and we'll start there.
Okay. All right. I'm Brock Morris. I'm 16, and I'm holding down the bass guitar.
I'm Ava Morris, and I'm 18, and I am one of the lead vocalists.
I'm Lucas. I'm the drummer, and I'm 16.
I'm Michael. I'm the lead guitarist, and I'm 18.
I'm Ariana. I'm one of the other lead vocalists, and I'm 20.
I'm Ben. I'm 18, and I play the rhythm guitar. I'm sorry.
So none of you can even have a beer legally yet.
No.
Almost. I'm
almost. When's your birthday?
In May.
May. You got some time left.
It's creeping.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm over half of your age. Like it's crazy. You're 20. I'm almost 40. So this is really weird. I've never felt older than I do right now. But yeah, so the band. I mean, you're in Michigan. You have this great classic rock sound. Tell us a little bit about the band in general, and how you guys kind of formed and all that kind of stuff.
Well, how we formed was there was a school in Lapeer, which is where we're based out of, called DB's Live, ran by Deb Barber, who's a 4-time Grammy nominee. And so we all started taking individual lessons from her, and she would put bands together. And so she took us and put us in a group together. And so then we would play together, see how the chemistry worked, and play showcases in front of all the other bands that she put together. And we enjoyed it so much, and we started gigging locally, just kind of like at bars in Lapeer. And then we started to, expand outward towards like clubs and more bigger bars in Metro Detroit, and started getting some festivals. So ever since then, we've just been trying to escalate and keep going.
And we all grew up with classic rock as a big influence. So that definitely helped us kind of shape the direction that we wanted to go. I don't think there was any doubt that we wanted to be anything other than rock.
Yeah.
But we got to work with Toby Wright, who produced our EP Undercroft. And he worked with Alice in Chains. He worked with Kiss, Korn, Heart. He's got a very respectable repertoire, if you will. But that was just so amazing working with him. And he helped us kind of bring our songs to where they needed to be. And we're writing right now, and hopefully we'll be able to work with him next year.
That's awesome. What's that like? I mean, working with someone like that who has worked with the bands you mentioned. I mean, like at your age, and I'm shocked. I mean, like, not that like, I guess like since I'm old, right? I always think that kids your age are out there listening to Cardi B's and the things like that, and you don't appreciate the classic rock, because I think when I was growing up, I didn't really appreciate it as much as I do now. When I was like younger, hear my parents listen to it. I find it fascinating. Your age and what you're kind of drawn to. What was that like for you guys?
Well, personally, for me, meeting him initially, like after hearing his repertoire, it was a little intimidating. But like, what?
You said repertoire. Repertoire.
You've been drinking?
Repertoire.
All right. His repertoire.
Josiah's like,
his discography.
What he's done, after hearing what he's done,
better.
His resume. You can use that word. Resume.
It was a little intimidating, but upon meeting him, he's the nicest guy. I mean, he's super down to earth.
He's super chill.
Yeah. Most importantly, very patient. The most patient person I have ever met in my life. Like, I was just shocked. I was like, how is he tolerating me right now?
And he shares our sense of humor also, so we bonded right away. And he's also kind of like a therapist for us. Like when we were recording, there'd be parts that just drive you crazy because you have to keep recording them over and over. And, I don't like that. How do we change this? I don't like it. And then it's like to the point you just break down. And then Toby would be like a little therapist. Me and Ariana would go for a little walk in the parking lot just to get some air after we were like freaking out, but just so patient.
Yeah, he made us run in the parking lot once actually, and it was the middle of winter, and she fell outside and scraped her knee.
True story. He didn't make us run, actually. We chose. We wanted to run a little.
And it's like we got to know him so well. He's like family now, and like whenever we need some advice on whatever we need to do in the industry, it's like, well, what does Toby think? We have that level of trust with him, and he's just awesome guy.
Yeah.
That has to be great to have someone like that on your side that you can go to and ask those questions and get that guidance from.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Do you feel a lot of pressure though? I mean, working with someone like that,
at first.
I was gonna say, definitely at first.
Yeah, it was maybe a little intimidating at first, but getting to know him, it's like you don't have to be like the other bands that he worked with. You can just be Frame42 and that's good enough for him.
I guess that kind of comes back to like how patient he was. And once we learned that, then it kind of just made working with him, a lot less stressful.
Well, just kind of like how he is, because like when you hear who he's worked with and everything, you're like, oh, I'm working with this giant producer who's done all this. And then you get in there and you talk with them and you just like, he's just a friend and a part of, and he's just part of your family who's working with you too. And he just talks and to you like, just like you're an equal. And it's really nice to work with someone like that just because you're just so comfortable.
Absolutely.
That is also, a good thing because he doesn't treat us like we're kids, like we're so young. Kind of like Michael said, he just treats us like an equal, like he would with any other band, which we really appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how long have you guys been playing and performing? I mean, again, you're young, but I mean, you don't get to where you are currently by, just picking up the guitar now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
About 5 years we've all been together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coming up on
6
on
February.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, it just like, I feel like, you guys shouldn't sound good. No offense, but it's just like, you're fairly new together. You're so young. It's wild to hear the sound. And I hope people who listen to this or watch this take at least a minute to check out your EP, which is called Undercroft, and that's on all the streaming services. That was recorded and released a year or two ago, or was that just this past year?
Last June, right?
No, it was released June of 2020. We actually recorded it almost a year ago.
Yeah,
2021.
That's what I said. June.
I just got a flashback from like a year ago, and it's like we were in pre-production, like right now. So a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's hard to keep track of time.
Yes, very weird, especially like because we like shut ourselves off in the studio for 2 weeks, and it was like over Christmas break. December 18th is when we went to the studio, and we stayed there for a few weeks, and it was like there was no time. Like time did not exist. You were just in the studio.
You just showed up and did your thing. I mean, I still feel like that. I just like, I have to be here. Okay, what day is it? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's kind of a blur now.
Yeah.
It was so fun though.
Yeah, it was.
Just being able to be in that environment for 2 weeks and just like get there at 10, leave there at 10, go to the hotel, and do the same thing the next day. It was just...
I think that's what's matured us the most.
Yeah.
Was that experience.
Mm-hmm. And some days were longer. Like one time we were working on vocals. I forgot what it's called. When you what's that called? When you pick comping the vocals until like midnight or 1 a.m, and then we get to the hotel, sleep, wake up, be there by 9, be ready to play by 10.
Yeah, it was like a 14-hour day.
Wow.
Yeah. I can imagine that. That's cool though.
It was work, but it was
At the same time, it wasn't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you like what you're doing, it's not really
like by the end of the day, you're tired.
Sure.
But like doing the whole thing the whole day, you're like you're having fun.
You're proud.
And you're
Well, there'd be some downtime too where Ariana and I were just having writer's block, and we'd go back to one of the office and just write stupid little songs on this keyboard. And that was really fun and just, helped us relax and get creative. Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you guys typically write about? I mean, again, I'll reference your age just because you're young. I can't imagine like, what do you guys, what inspires you? What do you write about?
I mean, sure, probably relationships. It might be obvious, but a lot of it too is mental health related, like paranoia and calling out, intervention. Those are all mental health related. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, because at this age especially is like a big struggle for a lot of us mentally. So it's really good to write about it and just get it out on paper. And then being able to share that to have other people relate to it is really nice as well. Because, we don't know, like maybe we are helping someone too. So,
and we're trying to,
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, we, since we're writing again, Ariana and I were like, okay, all our songs like aren't happy. Let's just write a happy song. We couldn't. And we talked to Toby. We were like, we're trying to write a happy song and we can't. And he's like, why do you need to write a happy song? You guys are badass bitches. You just keep writing badass bitches songs. And we're like, you got it.
All right, done and done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool that you mentioned mental health too. And I don't think, you know, my generation, I think, appreciates the fact that, you know, we talk about it, but I think beyond my generation, you know, a lot of that generation is like, you know, pull yourself up and suck it up and you know, keep moving forward. But, you know, there's so much. I mean, and I grew up, you know, half my life with the internet and half without it. I can't imagine where I would be, you know, if I had my entire life, you know, with the internet, because I think it's such a cool and scary place. And I don't think people often realize that, like, you know, you guys are on it all the time, whether it's for, you know, school or social media or, you know, promoting your band. It's constantly everywhere. And there's always mean people, and they're always going to, you know, those people will always speak the loudest. Right. So I appreciate the fact that, you know, as a young band, you can, you know, touch on those subjects, and because I mean, it's more prevalent now than ever. And especially, you know, you throw a worldwide pandemic in there and it's obviously magnified even more.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. So, I mean, how do you guys navigate, you know, being in a band, you know, obviously you guys some of you are in high school. I don't know if the older crew is, I don't know, in college or whatever. Is it hard to focus on school when you have this rock band that you want to like probably go to the next level and travel the world and all that kind of stuff?
Yes.
Yes.
School's like in the back seat, right?
Yeah. Well, especially because we went on tour, so like we got to feel like what the life feels like. So now I'm just sitting in school thinking about playing shows.
Yeah, I can't imagine that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
It's there. You can do it. It's not like you haven't done it before. It's not this dream right now. It's like it's
within reach.
Yeah, it's within reach, and it's you've done it. You can build upon that. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So then it's kind of like, it's hard because you want to spend time, you know, getting your assignments turned in and all that, but you could be spending time doing stuff for the band and like bettering yourself.
Right.
Like,
I could be spending all this time I'm at school practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's just like we're working for this to be our career. And if I'm sure for the Brock and Lucas who are in high school right now, I'm sure it's just like itching because you want to keep furthering your career because this is what you know you want to do, and just keep working at it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Those of you in college, are you taking classes that you can apply what you learn from them to the band, whether it be like a business background or anything like that? Or are you going to school for maybe a backup plan in case this doesn't work out?
Well, Michael and I are both attending online courses at Berkeley in Boston.
Oh, cool.
So so it's very easy to apply what we're learning to the band. I'm taking a music theory and a music marketing class, and then like a college writing class that's just kind of required. But definitely the music marketing has helped us. Like I bring some things to the table that we might not have been doing before, and I've seen like improvement by it.
Very cool.
Yeah. I think it's because, I'm just branching out my knowledge because one of my things I take is production. And so I like to apply, like, if we're in the studio, I can kind of have a basis and try to learn from like Toby and just try to apply it to the music and just like try to keep furthering what I'm doing. But you just got to keep going with the band.
I took music technology for one semester and I dropped out. I cannot sit still for that long. It was a 3-hour class. I was like, no. And I was
that's tough.
You know, I hope your parents don't listen to this, but I don't know if college is for everyone.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I have a degree. I mean, my parents and, people's parents that I'm, friends with, like, we were all told, like, get good grades in high school, go to college, get good grades in college, you'll get a great job and you'll have the house with the white picket fence and life will be good. But like, I don't know. It's not. I don't think it's for everyone. And I'm not saying do not go to college. Don't. I have a child. Obviously, we'll push him to do whatever he wants. But obviously, education is important. But yeah, it's just a weird, especially now. I mean,
Right.
I think the COVID-19 pandemic changed a lot of things for a lot of people. It's just it's a weird thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it was not easy for me to even do that because, I mean, at the time, if this was like 2019 and my parents, it was hard to make the transition because when you're focusing on two things at once, there doesn't seem to be any strong pull towards one. So, and then the reason I did that was to focus more on the band. So, I mean, once obviously I did that and the change was made, they saw, and all of our parents support us immensely. Yeah. Like, it's insane.
And at the time that Ariana dropped out, we were nowhere near where we are now. So it really took a lot of faith on her behalf to know, just to believe in the band that we would eventually be where we want to be.
I think we're super lucky to have the team of parents that support us as we do, because we've heard of bands that don't have any support, then parents that don't believe in them, but we are lucky. And I think college is definitely, it's great for some people, and I don't think it's right for other people. I think it's just dependent on what that person wants to do and the path they have to do to get there.
Right. Yeah. Like for me, so when we were in the studio, the last December.
Yes.
Yeah. I was online because that was the first semester of our senior year, me, Michael, and Ava. So just being in the studio while having to also try to focus on school really kind of established. I'm done after high school. I'm not doing this for the rest of my life. So yeah, I kind of put all my eggs in one basket.
Sometimes you gotta do that too.
Definitely.
You never know. You gotta hope for the best and keep pushing and keep practicing and meet the right people. Sometimes it's luck too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. And we've learned connections are super important too. It's just about who you know.
That's life in general. I mean, you could be anybody in the world. I mean, having connections and meeting the right people and just doing the right things is always
just sometimes being in the right place at the right time, even.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. We were at a sound check in New Hampshire, and we were just not even doing our full thing. It was just a sound check, and after two of the members of Foreigner crew. Foreigner was playing a couple blocks away. They really liked us and they talked to us for a little bit. And we got to meet all of Foreigner's crew after all their guitar techs, their keyboard techs, and it was just what is happening right now?
That was really cool.
And we still keep in contact with Chris, who's their guitar tech, and he's actually flying out to Michigan next week to see us play at the Vault in Saginaw. And it's just crazy how that happens.
That's so cool because you never know. You never know when you're going to get that chance. And that's what's cool about life. I think is just you just never know. You're going to play a bunch of shows and you're going to hopefully, gain fans and gain exposure. But there could be one person in that audience who's, famous or has connections that you need to get to the next level, and you just never know. And that's such a cool thing about life in general.
Well, that's the Joyous Wolf show. We had no idea that they were going to ask us to go on tour with them.
So talk a little bit about the tour and the places you played and things like that.
Well, that was just super exciting. Like Ariana said, we got booked to open for them the week before their gig. Very short notice. Just because we were oh, Joyous Wolf is coming to Michigan, we should open for them. And then after I saw their tour manager talking to our manager, Chris, and I heard him talking about some dates, and I was just this is a little suspicious.
Something's in the works here.
Yeah. And then after we all got herded into the green room, and Chris said that they have given us the opportunity to go on the national tour with them and open for them if we want to. And of course, it was a no-brainer. Yes, we'll open for you. We'll figure everything out, how we're even going to get there later. But yes, we'll open for you guys.
It was a hectic week. Figuring everything out. Such a short notice.
Yeah, originally we played with them on a Wednesday. They wanted us to be in, where was it? I think Texas by Friday, opening for them. But luckily they gave us a couple extra days. And I think by the next Saturday, we were in Texas with them opening. But it was just crazy, like just so cool. How many people like get to say they go on tour? It's just like, I can't even imagine it still.
Well, it was just a moment of realizing that this is a huge step up for us to be able to go on a tour to play out of states, because we've only played in Michigan, and then to be offered that opportunity to be able to travel with another band that's letting us be on a tour with them it was a surreal moment of realization, and it was awesome.
Next level stuff.
Yeah, it was kind of like a wake up call. Like, we could really do this for a living. Like, this isn't just a hobby.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know I don't know how I would react to moments like that, when I was 20 or 18 or 16 even. I watch college football, and I keep thinking that they are like my age, and I forget the fact that they're like 18, 19, 20, because they're just like, they're giants, and they're on like, national TV.
Right.
It's always it's cool how you guys can kind of keep your composure and just stay humble, and just, a wise man once told me, just keep plugging away.
Hmm.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what state, where did you travel to in that tour?
Well, we started in Texas,
then Louisiana,
Mississippi, then to Tennessee,
Indiana,
then Pennsylvania. We played at the Reverb in Reading, Pennsylvania.
And you come visit?
Yeah.
I'm 2 hours. I'm an hour and a half, 2 hours from Reading.
Well, we're trying to have a mini tour in the works where we're going to try to hit Pennsylvania and some places on the East Coast, maybe just over a weekend or something. But
let me know for sure.
Yes. Yeah, we really enjoyed it. Actually, I think the Reverb was one of our favorite places to play.
That's cool.
And it's
Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
And then we played Hard Rock at Pittsburgh too.
Oh, cool.
Hard Rock at Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Yes, the Hard Rock at Pittsburgh.
So that was fun. We went to
Winchester, or was that Knoxville?
Winchester was Ohio. So then we hit Ohio, Vermont, and New Hampshire.
See, I just show up and do my thing.
I just get on the bus.
You guys have the good gig. You're vocalists, you're singers, right? And you're also female. So a lot of gentlemen would like to carry the gear and stuff like that. So you got it made.
We do our fair share.
I'm sure you do.
I've got 2 amps on each shoulder.
I'm not saying. I'm sure you're both very proud, independent women. I'm not saying that you're anything other than that. I'm just saying.
2 amps.
Show up and sing, right?
Right. Yeah,
that's cool. That's cool. So again, you're young, and you've probably seen more than some people in your class may see their entire lives. So that's pretty wild to think about too.
Very,
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So Frame42, I got to ask where the name comes from.
Yes.
I'm sure you get it all the time, right?
No, this is our first time.
No? At least your second.
At least, yeah.
So the number 42, I think Brock actually just read a book on The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah, I just did a report on that book like yesterday, and basically they have a supercomputer that is sent to find the meaning of life, and after 7.5 million years, it comes back with 42, and that's just it. And like, it's kind of a big joke, and then everyone's like, what? That's not right. But it's like, yeah, it is.
It's basically the answer to the ultimate question in life. And so the frame represents the frame of life we're in. So it's like we're saying
We're the answer.
We are the answer.
Okay. All right.
Very humble of us, but and we keep it humble.
Yeah, I just got done saying you're humble, and then
no.
And then it kind of came out. It turned into like there's 4 guys, 2 girls is the framework of the band, so it's kind of a double meaning.
We are what you want us to be.
Yeah,
okay.
Whatever you want.
You know, it's funny, and I failed to mention this last time. Like that book. There's a band around here called Don't Panic.
Okay.
Which I think is a reference from that as well.
Yeah.
And then one of my coworkers at work has a poster on his wall from that book, and it says "Don't Panic" on it. So
Yeah.
Interesting.
So three different scenarios around that have been entered my life in the past like 6 months.
Very
Which I think is funny.
It's all coming
It's
together.
a sign.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yep. It's great.
So what's next for Frame42?
We have a gig next weekend, like I mentioned, but for the rest of the year, we're just kind of chilling out and writing and trying to get like at least 16 or 20 songs ready.
Damn.
According to Toby.
Yeah, Toby.
We gotta pump them out.
Yeah. Jeez.
But yeah, we're really in the writing zone right now, and so we're gonna try to be able to get some new material out by next year. Definitely.
And
Yeah.
probably, like you said, working on like a little mini tour.
Yeah, definitely come out.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, it's December 8th right now that we're recording this. This may not go up until I'm kind of backlogged now, so maybe in a week or two.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so Frame42 in 2022, big stuff. Lots of songs.
Actually, I forgot. Someone forgot. We're doing the Coleman Memorial concert
Yes.
they put on for a fundraiser, and Skid Row's playing there, and we're playing with Skid Row next May.
Which is huge. It's
Oh, very
huge
cool.
for us too. That'll be exciting. Yeah.
That is going to be a fun one too. Great cause too.
Mhm.
That's awesome. And aren't you guys part of some kind of contest, or there's some kind of voting I saw?
Yes, banger.
Yes, Banger Music Awards, which is the first award we've ever been nominated
Banger.
for. And it's like, what? We didn't even expect it. But yeah, that's really, really exciting for us.
Yeah.
And be sure to vote. I'm sure we'll have a link in somewhere. We'll provide a link.
Cool.
I think it's in our bio.
Yes.
Frame42 on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all Frame42 band. Just a quick plug.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. No.
Yes, we would just really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And one last question. I mean, where do you guys find inspiration from? I mean, we talked about classic rock. I mean, is there any bands specifically as a group, or is there artists like individual for each of you? Or talk a little bit about who has inspired you and along the way.
It's all kind of different for us. Of course, classic rock is where we all meet in the middle. But we all have different like subgenres that we like. Like personally, I'm like more folk, more I like classic rock too. But recently, I've been into like, I'm a huge Beatles fan. They're probably all sick of me talking about it because I talk about it a lot. But that's kind of where I first got into music. But recently I've been more into like indie folk or just folk in general. I really like.
Strong.
So I guess you're enjoying the does it Get Back?
Yes.
Yeah.
That actually, I did like watching it, but it was making me anxious because I was like, we have so many songs to write. Like, I can't just sit here and watch this. Like, I need to be doing something. But I did like it. And I was kind of thinking in my head, like, what I would suggest if I was there. Like, they would even listen. But I'd be like, oh, you guys should do this. And then they'd be like, you're so right. Join the Beatles. Yeah, was it? And I'd be like, what if you played this chord instead?
I think a big inspiration as a band was a big part was Greta Van Fleet, because I think a big part was seeing that a band, like, because when they started, getting big, they were still around 18, 19. And I think it was just a big part was like realizing like, oh, they're close to our ages. We can do this. And they were from Frankenmuth in Michigan. And so they were close by. And so I think it was kind of a kick. It was like, oh, we can do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think image wise, they were our inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
And sound is more individually combined.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, in that sense. Like me, I focus my inspiration mostly on Lady Gaga vocally. That's who I love to take after. That is, I like to say she's my music mom. Hopefully one day she'll hear that. But that is, seriously, that's just who I live by. Anything musically is her.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, like when, because at least me, like, just kind of like I usually listen to more heavy, more metal and more hard rock. And then to be able to incorporate that is just a really cool combination.
And what about the drummer?
Yeah, I mean, I listen to like everything.
Funk.
Like, yeah, but I'm usually listening to funk or like, I don't know, it's weird because we play rock, but like that's probably what I listen to the least on a daily, other than like country or like, you know, opera or something like that. But
What?
I don't know who, like, dude, do people even listen to that? Like, I don't know.
Opera?
Yeah.
Yes. We
Okay.
used to listen
So,
to
yeah.
it in 8th grade.
Yeah, I
And
don't
country.
listen to that. I listen to like rap, funk, you know,
I was a
rock,
horse
R&B.
I don't know why. I expect you to say Travis Barker.
I mean, I like Travis Barker. He's
Okay.
sick, but yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing. I mean, I grew up with Travis Barker, so it's like.
Yeah.
But
Very cool.
anybody else?
For me, like, I feel like I'm like all over the place because it's never like, because every time we get asked like who my or at least when I get asked who my inspiration is, I can never like think of a specific person. Because like right now, I've been on a 50s kick right now,
Ah,
like
interesting.
Bing Crosby, Billie Holiday, just.
You guys are shocked.
Information.
yeah, we're actually learning this in real time.
This is like last week. Yeah.
He's a new man today.
Yeah,
like-
apparently.
Or like 80s synthwave.
Okay.
What
You
is-
guys are blowing
I
my
don't
mind.
know.
You never said simple.
So I don't even. Yeah. But I feel like I always come back to like Metallica.
Okay.
That's always a
yes,
good
the connecting dots.
Iron Maiden. There's always like a good like place to come back to when I get sick of whatever I'm listening
The
to.
50s music.
Sure.
It's good stuff. I don't.
Well, just like when we hang out sometimes it's weird because like there'll be this like really hard metal song on and like you're just going at it. And the next song is like John Denver and you sing the whole song. And it's just a sudden change,
That's
but it
true.
works.
Well, Michael
duality
puts
of
on
man.
Bruno Mars or something.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to say that.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's my bad.
Start singing.
Michael has to kill me now.
I've had someone
Yeah, I have
like
to kill him
look
now.
at my playlist though, or Ava and I's playlist.
Oh my
we have a
gosh.
joint playlist together, and they're like, "What the hell is this combination?"
Luke Bryan.
I'm thinking, yeah, it's Luke Bryant. We've got some, who else is on it? I think Motley Crue's on it.
John Denver is on
John
it.
Denver. Grimes is on it.
Okay.
It's just
The Garden.
The Garden. It looks like
It's
a
ridiculous.
soup of every single artist ever.
It's like a kitchen sink cookie.
Yeah, but
All
it's
right.
funny.
What?
There's some funny songs.
Garbage disposal.
The Lonely Island isn't a. Are they on it? Right.
Probably.
Probably. It's Yeah,
Are
it's
the-
a little bit.
Are the Island Boys on your
No.
playlist?
I don't think.
No.
Oh gosh, I love that.
What are your inspirations, Brock?
I
Man,
mainly
dismissed.
my favorite band and biggest inspiration is Metallica, but other than that, I mainly just listen to death metal bands like Gojira, Meshuggah. Meshuggah is one of my favorites. Lamb of God, Death. I found a band called Car Bomb, and they go so hard. Like I'll just be in the truck, just like tearing it up, you know. And I just love that type of music.
Car Bomb. That's
Car Bomb,
That's
yeah.
a good. That's
That's
an
nice.
interesting one.
Oh, God bless you.
And you guys are are growing up in a digital age, streaming, things like that. Did you guys put out music on an actual physical CD or vinyl, or is that?
Yep.
Yes.
We
Was that
have
important?
CDs on our website, frame42.com, and then also at our merch table at live shows. Streaming wise, we're on everything, but a goal of ours is to eventually get a vinyl. They're just so expensive, but it would be so cool. Just have to have like one.
We are broke now.
We are broke after tour. You make no money on tour.
Yeah, and Adele used all the vinyl in the world, so
Right.
True.
doesn't exist anymore.
Good for her.
No.
Yeah,
I still keep
so-
vinyl. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, was that important to you guys? Like, I mean, again, you guys are growing up in a digital age with streaming. Even myself, like I always prided myself on like going to the record store and buying CDs, and I refuse to even get into the vinyl game right now because I just think it's for me it's too clunky. I don't like the sound quality as much as like a CD or whatever. And I just have like so many CDs that take up room in my house the way it is. I can't imagine, trying to do that with vinyl. And also like, I'm not going to put the vinyl album in my car. So like everything's on the phone, which is cool.
That's true, yeah.
But was it important to you guys to like do physical copies?
Yeah, I think it's always good to, also you don't really make any money from streaming. So from that standpoint, it's really important to like have something to sell, have something people want. And we could also make it our own because there's a little poster included in our hard copy CDs. So it's like a little treat for people who buy them.
And we usually sign them.
When we sign them, yeah. But I mean, some people, kind of like you were saying, just buy the hard copies just because they collect them. Like records, I buy records just because I like the way they look. I buy them and I play them sometimes, but
You canceled.
no, I'm serious. I like the way they look, and I like being able to say like, this is my record.
No, it's definitely cool. I mean, that's what I loved most about buying CDs was, opening up the liner notes and kind of if there was art attached to it, it was cool to look at that.
Mm-hmm.
I think bands a lot of times put a lot of effort into, that portion of the whole process. So it's unfortunate, but
I think also just because like you can look on your phone and just like look at the CD like cover, or like having like when you first like get your first copy, you just like look at it and hold it and you're like, huh, that's us. It's just kind of like a surreal moment because like you have your own CD pretty much, and you can look through it and pick it and put it in and it plays your music. So it's a really cool first experience, like hold it physically and like look at it and play it.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I've got nothing else for you guys. Again, thank you so much for doing this again. For those watching or listening, check out Frame42 on all the social media platforms, all the streaming platforms. Vote for them in the contest they're in. The link's in their bio on their social media. Anything else?
Just thank you for having us again.
Yeah,
This
thank you
was
for having us again. It was
lot of fun.
awesome.
When you make it big, don't forget about me.
Yes, sir.
Well, you're our first out-of-state interviewer, actually.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's cool. Awesome.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I wish you guys the best of luck. Happy to see a young band on the way up. Supportive parents, the right track. Humble. Remember humble. But
So humble.
So,
all right, guys. Thank you so much and best of luck.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll
Get
talk
out.
soon. All right, see ya.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you.